Oh, I can assure you this is not the easy way. I mean, this is probably the hardest way possible to consider running for president.
He's the former CEO of Starbucks, now considering running for president as an independent. Tonight, we're talking to him about the wave of criticism he is already facing.
A mix of wintry weather is on the way just in time for the weekend. I'll let you know who will see the worst of it on Friday.
Plus, 2 more Washington sheriffs say they will not enforce voter-approved Initiative 1639 because they feel it's unconstitutional. Tonight, what Spokane County Sheriff Ozzie Knezovich is saying.
Good evening. Thank you for staying up late with us tonight. I'm Whitney Ward.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Mark Hanrahan. While the Midwest deals with that bitter cold, we are also tracking winter weather headed our way. 2 storms will make their way through the region this weekend, and the wet weather that comes with that begins tomorrow.
Yes, it does. Thomas Patrick is in the Weather Center tonight with all the details we need to know. Thomas?
Yeah, Mark and Whitney, things are going to get a lot more active for the next several days here, and it starts tomorrow morning with system number 1, and some winter weather advisories already issued in anticipation of that weather system. So that's the purple shaded counties you see in the central part of the state. So Ritzville, Wilbur, Republic, Omak, all the way out to Wenatchee, all under winter weather advisory for a light wintry mix. So a little bit of snow, perhaps a little bit of freezing rain. So a couple spotty slick spots for tomorrow morning. The winter storm watch out east into Montana, that's for the second system, which will have a lot more snow associated with that. So by tomorrow morning, it will just stay cloudy in Spokane, not expecting any precipitation here, but out west of Ritzville, that's when you're going to start to run into at least some scattered precipitation. Not a widespread system, but enough to create a few wet spots. So it's a 1-2 punch heading into the weekend. In fact, tomorrow's weather system is already pounding the coastline as of right now. The next one for Sunday and Monday, a little bit further back off to the west. So I'll time out both of these systems, and they're 2 very distinct systems as well. One will have a lot more rain, the other will have a lot more snow. We'll break that down coming up in just a few minutes.
Sounds good, Thomas. Thank you very much. Sheriffs from 2 other Washington counties are following the Republic police chief's lead and saying they will not enforce Initiative 1639. That initiative was approved by voters back in November. It raises the age to purchase a semi-automatic rifle from 18 to 21, calls for enhanced background checks, and requires buyers to complete a firearm safety course. The sheriffs in Benton and Adams counties say they will not enforce it. They believe it is unconstitutional. Spokane's own Sheriff Ozzie Knezovich also said the law was unconstitutional in a thread on the sheriff's Facebook page. But he said while he disagrees with the language of the initiative, he believes other law enforcement officers are, quote, grandstanding. He says, quote, when they say they won't enforce 1639, it's because there is nothing for us to enforce.
Well, you may have noticed signs like this one in and around downtown Spokane. It's a poster referencing the ride-hailing apps Uber and Lyft and has some pretty alarming accusations of violent crimes.
Yeah, the sign shows some pretty staggering numbers of incidents supposedly linked to drivers and their customers. But how accurate are those posters? As KREM 2 Shayna Waldtower tells us, it started as a spat between taxi drivers and Uber and Lyft drivers.
Yeah, right now I'm on the corner of Stevens and Sprague, and as you can see right behind me right now, there is one sign that looks like it's been taken down, but there are several others in the downtown area, and I've seen some discussion on Facebook talking about the content that's on them, so I went to check and see if what's on these signs is even true. One day you see them, one day you don't. These signs seem to be popping up in areas all over downtown. They're posters that on one side say that Uber and Lyft aren't safe, and then the other side shows a list of numbers of deaths, assaults, sexual assaults, and kidnappings. Where these numbers came from? Well, I did some digging. The bottom of these posters show a website, whosdrivingyou.org. On that website are a long list of news articles from all over the country, so they're not local. Now, even so, some of these links to these articles are broken. So we're not saying that these numbers are false, just that we can't verify that they're true. I reached out to Uber and Lyft companies directly, and they don't have any information on these incidents that they share with the public. Although Uber does say they're looking to start sharing some of this information by the end of this year. So there's still the question of where these signs are coming from. Well, while looking out for these signs, I came across a taxi driver who says he doesn't want to be identified on camera, but he told me that he and several other taxi drivers have been putting up the signs. He claims these ride-hailing apps just aren't safe. He also says Uber and Lyft drivers have been taking the signs down. Now, as I said before, this isn't the only sign that's around downtown. Several other light posts and posts around the area seem to have signs that are either there or have been taken down. In Spokane, Shayna Waldtower, KREM 2 News.
Well, Washington lawmakers are back at it, trying to find a solution to Washington's wolf problem, one that will satisfy both environmentalists and ranchers.
Most recently, 2 Washington legislators, one from the east side, the other from the west side, are battling it out with contrasting bills. The first bill was proposed by Representative Sherry Appleton, a Democrat from Bainbridge Island. Her bill would outlaw the killing of gray wolves, even for attacking livestock, and instead the bill proposes relocating the wolves.
So in response, Representative Joel Kretz, a Republican from Wakanda, filed a bill that would create a wolf sanctuary in Appleton's district on Bainbridge Island. Kretz lives on a ranch in wolf country. He says his constituents are constantly plagued with the challenges of wolf recovery. A bill that would ban killing wolves, he says, would ruin their rural economies.
The big impact is the stress on the cattle. I had a rancher sell 200 of his best cows a summer ago because they had been harassed all summer long. They came in, I've got pictures, they're 200-300 pounds underweight, they're skin and bones. They don't have a calf by their side, and they're not pregnant. And they're crazy from being run all summer long.
So some of the language in Kretz's bill is obviously a little tongue-in-cheek, but he says it's also meant to send a message, one that indicates his district feels like Western politics prioritizes wolves over kids, livestock, and livelihoods here on the east side. Critics of both bills, though, say neither one is likely to pass, and the time could be much better spent working together.
Always still ahead tonight, he is the former CEO of Starbucks, whose potential run for president is already causing some controversy. Tonight, he sat down with our sister station for an exclusive interview.